Okay, welcome back, and we're going from Denver, Colorado to LAX, and if you haven't guessed what we're on today, of course, it's the Concorde. Now, yeah, a flight like this, it said, if you just saw the brief sort of map in there, it said it was about 2 hours odd. I think we'll do it, and as you can see by the video size, it'll be considerably less than that. So yeah, let's get on with the flight. I think this is going to be quite a challenging one because let's look at the terrain. I mean, it's going to be a lot of mountains. It's going to be quite hilly, and we're going to be flying quite low for the speed. So we're going to probably be avoiding them. So I think we're probably going to have to fly at a bit of a higher altitude today. But sadly, in exchange for that, that's going to cost us some speed. You know what we can do in the Concorde. I mean, it's been in the other videos how fast it is. I mean, we got from Germany to the UK in 20 odd minutes, 20 minutes, half hour, something like that. And something like that, it just proves how big America is. I mean, this is taking what? This says 2 hours 59 minutes in a normal plane. I mean, you look at UK to Paris, it's what, half hour, an hour, something like that. And that's just in that being something like an A320, 21. A Concorde, I mean, it will demolish the time, and I expect this to be fast. But not as fast. I mean, you look at we're quite high up now, as it is. We're going to have to bring that down at some point. We start off high, then we come down, we add trim to it. I'm not saying what's going on with this mod as well. There are quite a few issues starting to show up with it. Whenever you kind of reduce the power, it immediately starts shooting up. That's what I found the other day. So I might look to reinstall a new Concorde mod. And the question I always get asked here is, where did you get the Concorde mod? Well, now you do not have to ask that, as I will be sticking the link or a link in the description. And it's another Concorde mod, because I'm just with this one, I don't know. I mean, a lot's not working. I mean, you can't get the cockpit view anymore, or you can't look around at the cockpit. I mean, you can go into it and then sort of come back out, but yeah, it's not. It's not the best Concorde mod, but there's another one I found which I imagine will probably be a little bit better. It looks a bit more slick. There's a few more liveries with it, and hopefully it does the same things. So yeah, we're finding that challenge already. We can't get it sort of too low, because I mean, look at the mountaintops there. Denver, Colorado. There's a lot of, like, for a European or a Brit, I mean, a lot of us don't, we're not aware of how big America is, as I said. I mean, we only really know the key places, where Los Angeles, Vegas, New York, Washington, Orlando for myself, of course. And yeah, it's not being ignorant. I mean, it's just a lot to learn. And if you don't go to those places regularly, if you don't have an interest, it's different. I mean, I didn't know Denver was where it is located until I saw the map just now to organise the flight. I thought it was somewhere like right a bit, and then a right central sort of thing. But yeah, I didn't realise it was like this close to sort of LA. What I mean, it's 2.5 hours flight. But so yeah, there's a quick cockpit view. Not the best, as I said. So I hope everyone had a good New Year, Christmas as well. This should be a big year for the channel, this. We've got lots coming up. Hopefully the PS5 will be on its way at some point. Along with, yeah, so there's going to be lots of Gran Turismo, of course, lots of flight sim as well. So yeah, what's that? Yeah, so if you could, and we're building something really nice. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do hit the subscribe button. And for flight sim, I always offer a request, sort of, not so much a service, but I mean, you can request to me where you want me to fly on what aircraft, and I'll see if I can make that happen. Something like If you say, oh, I want to do Concorde from here to here, and then generally I'll do that. But the only thing is, if you wanted something to say, oh, I want you to go in this fighter jet, and it's a planes you have to pay for. I will do, but if I don't have that plane, then you may, if you want to see that video, then yeah, I mean, you will have to make a donation or part of a donation for me to do that. But if it's a freeware aircraft, if it's a mod, and you provide me the link for it, if I don't have it, then yeah, I'm more than happy to get that made for you. So yeah, just drop us your requests in the comments. And of course, subscribing is really the only thing I ask if it's free. It's a freeware one, so it's not a problem. I hope you'll be with us for the rest of the year to see what great content we sort of churn out as such. Plenty more on Flight Sim. There's some good mods and things coming out, so I'm told. I hope the official Concorde is going to be coming up soon. It's been teased for quite a while. I would probably, that one I would pay for, I think at all costs. I think it was about 40-50 quid. Even if it was that, I think I would have to pay for it. But as you know, this channel is the premier exporter of Concorde content for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. So yeah, just sit back and enjoy these flights. It's nice to do, I guess, quite a scenic flight. 'Cause I mean, a lot of them I do usually like kind of oversea. Like the last one we did, I think, was it Australia? There's a sea most of the way, not many mountains and things, and just generally good scenery. But here we should be in for quite a treat. So sit back and enjoy with a cold beer or a soft drink, whatever floats your boat. Some nice snacks as well. That always helps. Yeah, I bought, because I use the Airbus Officers Pack for Flight Sim, and to be honest, I wasted quite a bit of money because I bought the thruster and so the Officers Pack. It comes with like the throttle, and it comes with the flight stick as well. But when I think about it, I only really use the throttle's built in. There is a throttle built into the actual stick, so I'm just sat here kind of like, why did I bother buying the throttle as well? I mean, I just bought the stick for like £80-90, roughly $100 or so, and yeah, just what a waste. But I might sell the throttle, because it's just literally sitting under my desk, not being used at all. Which yeah, it's pretty pointless, to be honest. And the only thing is with that, you need well, you want it to be, when you fly an aircraft like this, for example, it's got 4 engines. I mean, with that, then you have to switch it over to like the other 2 engines to get it going, and then keep switching it back. So it's just a bit of a hassle, really. So I just use the main stick. So, yeah. What would you call Denver? I mean, I don't want to sort of say, is this the Midwest? I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but I look at like the analytics of the channel, and a huge bulk of you are from America that follow the channel and watch the video, and I try and cater towards that as well. And you notice that they get the more hits, you know, when we do a flight from LA or wherever. And yeah, I try and kind of lean towards that quite heavily. Let's see where we end up with this bad boy. Fascinating scenery again. I absolutely love the look of this. It's one of these places, I mean, it doesn't really look like a settlement or anything. Not a lot going on here. It's what you call, in England, we often say, without trying to offend, of course, it's somewhere that would be the arse end of nowhere. Which is just, yeah, I mean, there's nothing there. We've got plenty of places like that, but obviously on a smaller scale, a lot of sort of countryside like this. Great view though as you're coming over in a plane. And would be, I imagine, if I turned like the visuals up to full settings. I'm not certain my PC could handle it. Probably one of the cheapest options for flight sim. But yeah, I might try that one. See if I can do a thing with full visuals. But I mean, you get other flight sim guys that, you know, they'll show you the whole thing in 4K, and the rain will be coming down off the windscreen and things like that. But not here. We're just with a basic kind of get you from A to B. See if we can do it fast. Demonstrating an aircraft's power, what it can do. Generally a tour of it. Sorry if that's ruined the magic for anyone there, but that's pretty much what we do here. It does tend to, whenever you get low down, it does tend to like freeze a little bit. But this was it's a custom job, this PC, and it's I did a video actually, I think a couple of months back, and just explaining where I bought it from and everything like that. And it's if you're not into flight sim yet, if you haven't purchased your PC, I mean, have a look at it. It's some useful tips there. I don't want to say it's done on a shoestring, but I mean, compared to some people, it probably was. But yeah, it did. It does me. You know, I play my iRacing on it. I've got my retro sort of emulators, things like that, editing software, you name it. It's all on here. So yeah, I'm pleased I got it. It's a really good purchase. So I sold my Apple Mac to pay for this, and it was about, I think I only had to put a little bit more money, but it's crazy the price they go for. I mean, this was an Apple Mac from 2015, and I sold it at the start of last year, so 2021 I sold that, and yeah, I mean, so it's still went for £400. You just think a normal laptop wouldn't be anywhere sort of near that, would it? But yeah, on eBay somebody paid £400, money came, everything. Wow, fair play. Yeah, I funded this, but I won't be selling this to make way for the PlayStation 5, because I'll be wanting to do both. The PS5, hopefully there's some, you can pre-order the current stock in the minute the game, which is the shop over here. If you're British, excuse me, but yeah, every shop called Game, and they're going to have some stock at the end of January, I'm told. I looked on the website and you can pre-order, but it comes with the console itself. It is just the console. It comes down to the wires. I don't think it comes to the controller. And they want the equivalent of about $500 for it, which is madness. But I mean, a controller you can pick up cheap, you know. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting stuck into Gran Turismo when that comes out. So there's a lot coming up. Should be a lot coming up on the channel this year, sorry. So make sure you're with us for that one. As we build it out, we started again in March? Was it February or March? I started making videos again, and I only had like 15 subscribers. You know, we're on 131 at the time of this. Hopefully more of you will join us. And yeah, I'm just enjoying building it up again. Great fun. So be with us for that one. Okay, so not terribly far off now. We've made up some serious time if you look at that. I think if these mountains went here, if it was just straight sea, I think we'd be a lot faster. But we can't be. Flying fairly straight. We've had to trim down to like 0.3 because it will just wants to keep going up. This aircraft it can be a bit of a pain, unfortunately. And again, that's mods though, isn't it? You have to keep finding new ones, and with every update this slot release, then the mod's got to be made for it. Or sometimes it works. But yeah, I will be looking for a new Concorde mod. I think I found one. I'm going to post that in the description. You don't have to keep asking me where I got it from. That's all I get asked. But feel free to ask anything else. As we fire ourselves towards LA. Incredible speed. Got touch. I think we're gonna go past Vegas and the Grand Canyon. believe. I've done that flight before. That's quite a popular one. Just look at the time we're making up. I mean, it's a kilometre made up sometimes two every second, half a second, if that. Incredible work. I always say about Concorde that it was ahead of its time. I'll say that in every video because it was ridiculous how, you know, I mean, this was designed in what, 60s, 70s, and it flew for 30, 40 years before they stopped it. I mean, you can see why they stopped it. I mean, it would have probably never survived the recession of 2007-8 sort of thing. It would never, no chance it would have ever survived that with its fuel cost. I mean, look how the A380, the 747 have just been kind of phased out, or they're trying to phase out the A380. I did fly back on one recently, actually, so yeah. But the Concorde would have never got past that economically. I think they were legally, I think they were still allowed to fly it, but I'm surprised a private investor never come in for it. There's rumours Branson wanted it, and something didn't happen there. But you think, like, he's the actor, what's his name, John Travolta, okay? He's got his own 747 own collection of massive private commercial liners. I mean, why didn't he approach BA or Air France? Surely that is something that would have interested him. I'm not going into John Travolta's finances, I don't know, but I mean, if you own your own 747, how much is that costing you to keep? And he'll probably fly that for the rest of his life. Why not add a Concorde to your collection, John? If you're watching this, why not add a Concorde? I mean, so many private investors have just gone and bought one. It's just incredible. You pass it when you take off from Heathrow, which sadly the last few times I've been kind of condemned to doing, is Emirates, not a Gatwick for the moment. I think they're starting to come back, but anyway, you just sort of see, because there is one of the Concordes. If you look on Wikipedia, there's one of the Concordes that's still on the runway. It was an active plane, so it was in service. And you just go past it and you think, God, what a masterpiece! How ahead of its time it was, and just what an honour it would have been to fly on that. And you know, everybody I knew who went on it, I knew a couple of people who said that things like the surfaces were like lukewarm when you got off, just because of the pure speed, how hard the afterburners were working, stuff like that. Amazing. So we are very, very much looking forward to the official drop. I think it's one of like the studios who make like the stuff for the marketplace on Flight Sim. They're working on it, and it must be, I mean, the development must be taking forever. And this was spoken about a year ago. Now there's talks maybe I'll be released there and everything, and nobody really knows outside one of those big studios, I'm guessing. But you know, it's frustrating for us, but to get Concorde perfect, take your time, boys, if you're watching this. Seriously, I mean, get it as right, or just as close as you can to the real thing. I mean, just all those buttons, all on the back panels, and thousands of buttons and switches and whatever. I mean, that's just, to use them in this, that'd be incredible. So yeah, if you're watching whichever studio's making that, just take your time. We are all behind you. Well, one thing I want someone to make the MD-10 or 11. One of them's like available in this game, but you can only tour it. You can only like walk around. I'm just thinking, somebody please make one, or just if you've got a convert from Flight Sim X or something like that. I mean, just get in touch with us. So I'd love to have a convert and just fly that as a mod with the MD-10 or 11 or the stealth bomber. Those are things I'm really after at the moment. So if you've got any of them as well, get in touch with us. We'll make plenty of videos on them for sure. trying to dip it a bit, trying to get a little more speed up here. Not dreadfully far off. So you're near sort of Grand Canyon-y sort of territory now. The flight, if you want to check it out, it was a shocking landing, by the way. But I did LA to Vegas in the Concorde, and it was, I can't remember what time, but it was very quick. It might have been under 20 minutes, I don't know, but yeah, definitely give that a watch. It's somewhere on the channel, I don't know where. Yeah, give that a go. You know, just look at my desire to go to America after everything that happened, which was explained in the other Concorde video. It's pretty high out there. I love Florida, and it's a desire to return there and meet the mouse, and just explore it again. But there's so many other parts of America that you want to see, and you want to go to. And for a Brit going there, it's just amazing every time, and I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to get back to America. I loved what I did in Dubai, and I was there 3 times a year at one point. It was amazing. But you just think, the best way to kind of put it is, whenever I left Florida, whenever I left Dubai, it was always, I've got to get home now anyway because I've got stuff to do. But whenever I left Florida, I think I'd actually stay here forever. So I just adored it, and hopefully, maybe the end of this year or next year I'll be looking to come, and I'm very excited for that. As we hurtle towards our destination, Los Angeles, LAX, of course. I do like LAX because the turnings for the runway aren't difficult. It's yes, I'd say basic, but it's easier. Generally, it's kind of, it's yeah. I mean, it's generally a straight line. I think here we got like a slight turn. The runway is always very well lit, so you can see it quite a way off actually, which is always helpful. And for any pilot, even in the day, that's one thing I don't generally do is I sort of mess around and trying to shut the speed off or get the flaps. I'm trying to do something else instead of actually looking for the runway. But it's always very well lit at LAX, which is always good to know. The 300 odd K's out. No doubt the Concorde will just absolutely have that for breakfast. Just how quick we're making things up. So you see there's kind of mountains there in the horizon. I think behind that is LA. I'm not certain though. You'd imagine so. Seems quite a way yet. But we shall I'm not sure about the trim, because that's going to be quite tricky, I think, towards the end of this particular mod, the way it's built, if it wants to start heading up. We may have to reduce the trim. We might have to keep it as is and just bring the throttles down, maybe add some flaps. But yeah, made very good time on this, actually. Very impressed. Yeah, this is the mod I'm sort of going to put in the description. I think I'm not sure if I've used it before, but I think it looks a bit more kind of slick than this one. It's still, obviously it's going to be a convert from Flight Sim X, but it's just, it looks just a bit slicker, to be honest. Whether it handles as well or better, might be worse, I don't know, but we'll be finding that out in the next few days. And yeah, hopefully, I'm not sure if I want to go to an American destination again. But one that I have been quite tempted to do is Hawaii. But I mean, I looked at the map. It's about 5 hours. It's a 5-hour trip. I mean, Concorde is going to cut that considerably. I mean, you're still looking at an hour, 2 hours for a video. I mean, if that's requested, I might open it up to a poll. If that's what, if people are interested in seeing a Concorde to Hawaii video, then we'll get that made. There's just lots I'm not sure about, like the upload time and things like that. But my internet's a lot better here now, so I could speed things up. Yeah, so it's just what I'm tempted to make. I know I probably should. So we'll get that. So I'm thinking about getting that done. Let us know in the comments if you want to see that. Okay, so we're not dreadfully far. There's those mountains there. I'm pretty certain after that that'll be the city of Los Angeles. We've made deadly progress here, I tell you. This is quick. And it's quicker than what I thought, to be honest, even though with the mountains, the terrain and everything, we've done pretty well. Occasionally kind of reaching 1300 on the airspeed.
Going to 124.5521. Joshua approach to 110,500 feet. 21 Joshua approach QNH 29.902.
Just let some of the sort of sounds seek in. Sometimes I like to do that. Just not talk a bit and just let it, the game or sim or whatever it is, just sort of speak to you. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull up a little bit soon. It does not like it when we're low to the ground, doing a bit of speed. This PC, but then definitely gonna have to bring it up. I'm gonna keep the trim sort of the same, just lifting a tad. Okay, there we go. Look, as it was correct. City of Angels. We got a bit high, we have to bring that down. What an incredible view though. Yeah, it's been very scenic, probably my most scenic flight actually. In a minute we're going to have to look at maybe bringing these engines down a tad. My rule generally is to get it when it gets to 50 kilometers away from the turning point and then start bringing the engines down. But we need to be... I'll bring them down a bit now. See what that does, but we need to be bringing them down. We need to bring the altitude down, definitely. We should see where we can... or what we can do with this. There's LAX kind of in the distance, so you see there's the first sort of marker, and the one kind of behind it, back to the right, that's LAX, I believe. Or is it? I think LAX might be to the right, slightly. So we shut the engines down, might not be enough. I think we have to turn again. Yeah, it's gonna start freezing stuff again now. I'm confident we can land it. Done enough work with LX in the past to know a little bit about it. I think we shall land it quite successfully. Okay, so it's 57 kilometers in the other way. There it is. Okay, runway, of course, well lit as usual. 21 kilometers now. That's fast. Just the right hand side there. Gears come down.
2-1 SoCal approach. Cleared through the Bravo airspace. Cleared through Bravo airspace 2-1.
It might need a tad more speed. Just a little more. Kind of get us there. However, that is lined up very well. That's lined up very well. Just need a little bit more power. And I'll cut it again in a minute. Flaps are up as well. I'm sure I could go more. Freeze it. It always does this. Don't freeze now, please. Okay. Should be able to bring this down quite nicely.
Los Angeles Tower 2-1 is 2 miles east, 1,100 feet with golf to land.
Center line.
2-1 Los Angeles Tower.
Very nice.
QNH 29er.
Probably a bit too fast. But it's down. Just. And there we have it. Okay, well thanks very much for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe.